I want you to stand up on the trike and just feel it out. Get used to being up on top of the trike. Now you'll notice that, and it's hard not to notice, especially when you've seen the B-roll, the footage of us riding, that all three wheels stay on the ground, but you're able to rock the trike back and forth. Now that is vitally important. As you know, the slogan for trike is rock and roll, and that's exactly how the trike rolls, by rocking. So it all makes sense. It'll make sense to you later on when you hit the sweet spot. We refer to it as the sweet spot. It's when you combine all of those elements together and it all starts working for you at one time. So what I want you to do is to get used to the process of leaning the trike to the left and right. It's not a turn as much as it is a lean. Keep the steering wheel straight, just bend your knees and you can go like that. You're going to want to get used to that because that's what the driving mechanism is that makes the trike roll. What I'm going to do for you first timers is to ask you to push off a couple of times so you have a little bit of speed so that you can start turning with me. Now, what we're going to be doing is simply leaning the trike and doing very gradual turns. I'm not going to be kicking out. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy. I'm especially not going to be really muscling the front wheel. So let's get started by pushing off a couple of times and we'll get started. 2 pushes. Now I'm up, I lean, I lean, I lean. I'm going back and forth. Now what's important is that you lean. Leaning is what drives the trike. You can see every time I turn, the trike accelerates. That's very important. If you don't lean, you're not going to go anywhere and you're going to frustrate yourself. So follow my directions and lean the trike. Don't turn, lean. I'm barely using any effort at all to make that happen. I'm rolling very easily. Now, there's one final component to triking, and that is combining weight distribution. Now, if you are used to inline skating, if any of you are inline skaters, you know that on the outside leg, it's almost like you're picking up that inside leg and putting all the weight of your body on the outside leg. Now we're going to apply the same concept to the trike, and it'll be a combination of 3 things. It'll be a combination of turning a little bit, so you got a nice little zigzag happening, leaning, and then kicking off on the outside leg at the same time. The combination of all 3 of those in one fell swoop is going to be your power stroke. It's what we call the sweet spot. The more you ride, the more possible it'll be for you to experience that. Once you experience it, it's like golfing. You hit a perfect shot, oh, that's how it works. Exactly the same thing with the trike, so don't give up. So just for grins, I'm going to start from scratch because you can do that on the trike. It's as easy as turning the wheel a couple of times to get started, and then you add a little bit of lean, and then kick off. Now you can see my leg extending as I ride. That leg extension is what really adds the final touches to triking. You can really get some great speed up. Here in Venice, Santa Monica area where we have nice, smooth, flat boardwalks, we're always up to 15, 18 miles an hour. We're passing a lot of bicycles and a lot of inline skaters. Now hill climbing is something entirely new and really requires a fair amount of skill to do. It's not something that you're going to want to tackle right away. You're going to want to spend many, many hours riding and getting used to riding on the flats before you start tackling hills. So from a dead stop, I'm going to turn and really kind of punch the front wheel around. You can see that every time I punch the front wheel around, it actually picks up a little bit of speed. Now the steeper the hill, the more you're going to need to do that. On a light grade, you can also add a little bit of turning and kicking off, and you can take off, and I'll show you how that's done right now at speed. So I'm really kicking, really turning, and really kicking it to climb up this grade. So this hill you're looking at here is significantly steeper than the one we were just on. It's going to require a little bit different technique. I'm not going to be able to ride as much up it as I'm going to need to traverse up it and use the front wheel more and more to help propel me up the hill. The second thing you'll want to do also is when you see me punching, I'm also kind of twisting my body. So my body and my outside foot is helping to bring the whole trike around in that direction. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and you definitely have to practice before you're a really good trike hill climber. But guaranteed, once you get it down and once you get used to it, you can go for miles and miles uphill. You do your own climbing, and then you can turn around and come back down and do a nice ski run. So here's what it looks like on this particular hill, the climbing. You can see I'm really punching with my arms, and I'm using my body to really twist around and really bring the trike around. And when you start going faster and faster, it becomes a great workout. Use your entire body, arms, legs, torso, back, shoulders, the whole thing to get a great workout while you're hill climbing. Woo! Downhill on the trike. It's great fun. It's about as close to skiing on pavement as you'll ever get. And as you can see, what I was doing there, I was using my carving to control my speed. This isn't really a terribly steep hill, but it's plenty and almost too much for a trike in order to be able to control your downhill speed with your carving rather than with your brakes. That's what you really want to be doing on a trike, is controlling your speed with your carving. If you're always on the brakes, if you're always having to apply your brakes, whether you're going straight down or you're carving down, chances are you're on a hill that's going to be too steep for the trike. So that's it. That's the basics of triking. All you need is some time to go out and really learn how to do it properly. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of energy, so give it some time and you'll be triking before you know it. Have fun on your trike. I'm off. See you out on the bike path.